Hazreti Resul-i Ekrem Muhammed sallallahu aleyhi ve sellem Efendimiz Hazretlerinin aziz pak münevver mutahhar ruh şeriflerine salavat-ı şerife getirenlerin ahir ve akıbetleri hayır ola. Âl-i ezvâc-ı tahirat evlâd-ı Resul ashab-ı güzin efendilerimizin sair enbiya azam ve Resul-i Kiram haziratının ervah şeriflerine Pirimiz Bilal-i Habaşi radıyallahu anh efendimizin mihmandar-ı Resul-i Kibriya Ayyub Sultan Halid bin Zeyd Ebu Ayyub el-Ansari radıyallahu anh Şah Murşidan Şah Hacı Muhammed Buhaddi Nakşibendi el-Bukhari Mevlana Celaleddin Umum Mevlana Zerdin Hadil Bağdadi Sahibu Zaman Kıblatul İslam Şeyh Mevlana Muhammed Nazım Adil el-Hakani Sahibu Seyf Şeyh Abdülkerim Kıbrıs Rabbani Kaddesallahu Esrarrum Haziratının ervahı için Hadimul Harmeyn-i Şerifen Yavuz Sultan Selim Han Ebu'l Fatih el-Magazi Fatih Sultan Mehmed Han ve Serdar-ı Hakan Sultan Abdülhamid Han cennet mekan Firdevs-i Aşin Haziratın ervahını ve avni inayetine alel husus bu caminin bayinesi ve bugüne kadar içerisinden gelmiş geçmiş İmam Muazzin Kayyim cemaatinin ve kâfe ehli iman ervahı için Allah rızası için El-Fatiha. Euzubillahimineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. İnnallâhe ve melâiketuhu yusallûne alen-nebi. Ya eyyühellezîne âmenû sallû aleyhi ve sellimû teslîmâ. Allahümme salli ala seyyidina Muhammedin ve ala ali seyyidina Muhammed. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü en la ilahe illallah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Eşhedü enne Muhammeden Resulullah. Hayya alas-salah. Hayya alas-salah. Hayya alel-felah. Hayya alel-felah. Allahu Ekber, Allahu Ekber. La ilahe illallah.
نحمد الله تعالى ونستغفر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له نشهد أن سيدنا محمدا عبده وحبيبه ورسوله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأزواجه وأصحابه أتباعه خلفاء الراشدين المهديين من بعده بذمة على تحقيق وزم منهم على الميت خلفاء رسول على تحقيق أمراء المؤمنين حضرات أبو بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعلى بقية صحابة التابعين رضوان الله عليهم أجمعين يا أيها المؤمنون الحاضرون اتقوا الله تعالى وإن الله مع الذين اتقوا الذين هم محسنون. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Today we are remembering one of the sultans of Ahirat, the great Wali, our Mawlana Jalaluddin Rumi. And we are inshallah reading from the beginning of his khutbah, saying, Alhamdulillah, who is wholly above comparison, totally separate from any partner, exalted above death and decay, the Ancient of Days, who exists eternally, the transformer of hearts, the motivating force behind fate and events, he who brings about changes in our circumstances, of whom it cannot be asked when or how long, because it is impossible to contain that Ancient One inside the limitations of time. He began the world without any precedent, created Adam and his children from clay, some of them destined for bliss, some for hellfire, some for separation, some for reunion. Among them, some are given to drink of defeat, while others are clothed with the dress of acceptance. Should any tongue object, it is dumbfounded by the saying of the Almighty, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. he shall not be asked of his doing, but they will be questioned. Sadaqallah al-Azim. High is our Allah, above argument and disputation. Where does creation derive the right to question and contend? It was non-existent, then came into being and will disappear once again, going as the mountains go. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. You see the mountains and suppose them firm, but they will pass away as clouds do. Such is Allah's handiwork, which brings all things to perfection. There is no Allah but Him, the Great, the Exalted. Sadaqallah al-Azim. He raised up our Prophet Muhammad ﷺ when ignorance appeared and kufr and misguidance were everywhere, and he guided his community through words and deeds, making clear to them which paths were forbidden and which were permissible. He struggled in the way of Allah under all conditions until the sea of negation evaporated like a mirage, and the truth was established straight and tall by his effort. Allah's peace and blessings upon him and his family, the best of families, and upon his companions, upon Abu Bakr the righteous, who freely supported him with his wealth, upon Umar, distinguisher of truth from error, whose obedience to him intensified even in terrifying floods of hardship, upon Osman, possessor of the twin lights, who held fast to recitation of the zikr of the Quran every morning and every night, and upon Ali ibn Abi Talib, the smasher of idols and slayer of champions. So long as the gazelle cubs graze in the meadows and the darkness is lit up and wicks blaze, our sincere and humble du'as for them will not end. Amin. May Allah raise the station of Hazrat Maulana and his beloved Hazrat Shams, and may their shade be upon us. May Allah bless the grand sheikhs of this noble way, the Khajagan, the Naqshbandi sheikhs. May Allah bless the Ottoman sultans, the padishahs of justice and mercy, who fashioned a world shaped in justice, obedience of Allah, love of His Rasul, and hizmat to the awliya. May Allah love those who love them. May Allah curse those who hate them. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, guard your heart. Your heart is a precious part of you. Don't let it to become corrupted. Never forget that Allah is saying to us in the dua of Ibrahim alayhi salam in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Let me not be in disgrace on the day when everyone is raised up, the day when neither wealth nor sons will benefit anyone except him who brings to Allah a qalbun salim. Sadaqallah al-Azim. And remember that the Holy Prophet ﷺ said, truly in the body is a piece of flesh which, if it is good, the entire body is good, and if it is corrupt, the entire body is corrupt. Truly, it is the heart. And the Prophet of Allah speaks the truth. This hadith is one of the foundations of the spirituality that our Holy Prophet ﷺ left us with. And this requires examination. Is our heart good? Or is it corrupt? Is it healthy or is it sick? Today's people, when it comes to the real heart, the batin heart, the real heart, they take it very lightly. They say, oh brother, this is optional. Spirituality, it is optional. We are praying, we are fasting, we are giving zakat, we are making hajj. It is enough. Cleaning the heart is just for very good Muslims, special people. We just want to be simple Muslims. This is another game from shaitan and the ego to make people think that purifying the heart is something for just some people. Cleaning that heart is for everyone. When a man feels a pain in his physical heart, he doesn't wait. He runs to the doctor. People exercise, they eat well, they take medicine to always make sure that the physical heart is pumping properly, because they know if this physical heart just gets just a little bit sick, then I'm finished. If that's your physical heart, what about our real heart, our qalb? Our Grand Sheikh, Sultan al-Awliya, Shaykh Maulana Muhammad Nazim Adil Haqqani Qaddas Zasir, is explaining what the stakes are for our qalb, saying, Imam al-Ghazali says, 40 different questions before the body arrives and is buried in the grave. Questions which are only between the Lord and the dead person. These questions will be asked to everyone. He says that the first question that Allah Almighty asks that person is, O my servant, you always decorated yourself among people. You were very careful to look after yourself, how you dressed, fixing your heart, having so many things. You were careful to look handsome, beautiful, and elegant among people. Very careful, because people looking at you. But did you do anything to your heart for me? You knew that I looked only at your heart, not at your outward appearance. What color your eyes were or your skin color, whether you were tall or short, black or white. No, I always looked at your heart. Did you ever think to yourself, my Lord is looking at my heart. I must keep it pure and decorate it with excellent qualities. Did you ever think of that? Because I was looking, saying, my Lord is looking at my heart. I must keep it excellent for Him. That is the first question. It contains everything in itself. Is it enough for believers to be doing their best, to illuminate their hearts, purify them, enough for them here and the hereafter as well? On the Day of Judgment, Allah Almighty is not going to ask you what you brought of money or of sons or of property or of ranks. No. Where is your heart? With which heart have you come to me? The purified heart, the golden heart, where is it? Give it to me. That was what I was asking from you during your life. That is the main thing which is asked of everyone. Keep your heart pure and excellent and bring it to me. And Sultan al-Awliya speaks the truth. So it's not a game. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to question us in questions that are only between us and Him about whether we did anything to make our hearts special for Him. We should be honest with ourselves. Are we making even one part of our heart for Allah? Or has it been taken over by masiwa, by everything other than Him? By our love of our own selves, by our love of our problems, by our love of this dunya. What is occupying our heart right now? Has it been taken over by our desires of what Allah is, that are rooted in our ego rather than who Allah really is? Have we left any part of our heart for Rasulullah alayhi wasallam, the Tabib al-Qulub? Or have we left Him out from what is His rightful home? Do we have any part of our heart for our guide, our Shaykh? Or have we let a false king come and take over the kingdom of our heart? These questions don't require deep thinking. If we are honest with ourselves, sincere for just a moment, the answer is going to come to us right away. What is occupying our hearts? So how do we make our hearts to be for Allah? We are fortunate enough that we have reached to a tabib who has learned from Tabib al-Qulub. We have our Shaykh. And he is giving us a medicine and advice saying, people say, I'm not feeling comfortable. My spirit is very tight. Especially when they come around him or the dargah or around us. True. Because the heart now is burdened. You're putting so much burden on the heart. Shaitans aren't supposed to be there. The heart is the throne of Allah. So if you're thinking all evil kinds of thinkings coming through, all wrong thinkings passing through your head, now you're giving invitation to Shaitan to come in. Shaitan is not slicking anymore. You're giving invitation, saying, please come inside. And how are you going to say now Well, Allah is in my heart too. Allah is not there. Allah is saying to us, clean your house first. Then I come there. Your heart has to be clean. You have to clean your heart, then I will come. You give invitation, and then I will come. I will go inside there. So how are we going to keep that? Very easily. If we remember that yesterday we were inside our mother's womb, and if we know that today we are above this ground, and if we keep it alive in our heart, that tomorrow we may be down there, then we have enough worry. Then we have enough worry to say, at least, let me fill up my grave with good things. Then you will say, let me have a better relationship with this person. Let me have a better relationship with this one. I don't know who he is. Maybe he'll pray for me when I die. And if you didn't send anything there, then maybe he'll have some people to pray for you. And it'll be just like putting water to the plant. So people will be sending to your grave then. So it's up to us. It's up to us, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't torture. He doesn't punish His servants. He doesn't punish His creatures. The creatures go around punishing themselves. First being disobedient to Allah, and then disobedient to His Holy Prophet ﷺ, disobedient to the holy ones. Then who are you obedient to? Just to say one person here and one person there, no, that's a lie. It's cheating. You have to have someone to tell you, do this and don't do that. Turn here and don't turn there. You cannot just say, I'm connected to the Sultan directly. Who are you? Carrying your ego on top of your head and you're entering into the palace? Did you ever see a man coming with his horse and entering into the palace where the king is sitting, and is entering into the room with his horse, sitting on the horse? Maybe it's a possibility. And maybe that king is so good that he will forgive that one. Otherwise, the neck must go. Of course, it's not a possibility, because the guards are not going to let that one to come in. But maybe one possibility. So when the man is carrying that kind of an ego, do you think you're reaching to Allah and you're not accepting anything else? You think worldly you have reached because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is giving you some high intelligence that you are using? It's not high intelligence that you use, but the awliya are looking at you. The awliya Allah are praying for you, and you reach somewhere. Do you think it's you? That's another biggest mistake that the Muslims are doing today. They are not saying, this credit is not for me. If good words come out from me, it's definitely not for me. It's from Shaykh Maulana. It's not me. The credit has to go to him. I'm just a tool. And Sahib al-Saif speak the truth. His advice is not small. We are not just saying this as a cliche. It is real. If a man took just these words and applied them to his life, he would live in the world clean, enter the grave clean, and rise up on Judgment Day clean. Why? Because Shaykh Effendi is breaking down what is the heart. What makes the heart sick? What makes the heart healthy? And what is the test to use to see if your heart is good? Shaykh Effendi is saying that our hearts have become burdened and heavy because we open the door of our heart to shaitan. Understand that shaitan does not belong in our hearts. That is not his place. So when he enters, he is like a disease, making everything sick, and that sickness comes out in us, and we have symptoms like depression and sadness and helplessness and hopelessness. It is because we gave shaitan an open invitation to enter our heart and infect it. And why is that? Because we forgot where we came from. As Shaykh Effendi is saying, we forgot where we are going. We came from nothing. We came from our mother's womb, and we're going to the earth when we die. Man's heart becomes dirty when he forgets this and thinks he became something. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding us in the Holy Quran, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. So let man look at what he was created from. He was created from a fluid, ejected, emerging from between the backbone and the ribs. Truly Allah is able to return him back to life. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. For the heart to be clean, for the heart to be pure, we need to be worried and concerned about our death. and what comes after our death. And when a man starts considering that with sincerity, he is going to understand that neither wealth nor sons are going to benefit him. He will understand not his problems, not his worries. Whatever that is occupying his heart right now is not going to save him. He's going to understand himself, his own dirtiness, his own weakness, his own foolishness, his own ghaflat. And he's going to understand that even his prayers, his fasting, his deeds, they are shaded with the diseases he has in his heart. So then what does man do? What is Shaykh Effendi saying? The man goes around good people. He goes to people with clean hearts. He goes to people who are still obedient to Allah, obedient to the Holy Prophet. The man goes to awliya Allah, and in that majlis, he starts to learn again what he forgot, what his spirit knows, and what his heart is burning for, to become an obedient servant to Allah and His Rasul and their friends. Don't go to the majlis trying to prove that you know something. Don't go to that majlis with a full cup. Don't go to that majlis with disobedience and arrogance. You will gain nothing, only the fire. That is a path to purifying the heart again, to sit with those ones who are with Allah. But those friends, they don't accept anyone who carry their ego on their backs. If a person wants to sit in that majlis, we have to first admit that we have an ego. Then we have to say that we want to take that ego off our back. We want to ride on that ego. Then we need to submit to the training of the Shaykh. What is Hazrati Maulana saying? Shaykh Effendi is teaching us, saying, Maulana is saying, yes, this door is opening to you. If you broke your tawbah, not one time, 1,000 times, come again. But when you come in, leave your arrogance outside again and enter inside. Don't enter inside here with your arrogance, with your shaitan. You broke your promise again. Come again, because you have no other door. Only door is Islam. Only door is Quran. Only door is the teaching of Muhammad alayhi wasalam. That's why he said, I am the slave of Quran Kareem, and I am the slave of the footprint of Muhammad alayhi wasalam. So the ego cannot enter to the majlis of the awliya Allah. You cannot keep the door of your heart open to shaitan and closing it to the awliya Allah and claim to be following the awliya. You need to at least fight every day to say to that darkness, this heart isn't for you. This place isn't for you. I don't want you here. This place, my heart, I'm cleaning it up now for my Shaykh, for my Prophet, and for my Allah. Get out from here. This isn't for you. Maybe we lose 1,000 times. But the door is going to be open for us if we are returning again with sincerity. And inshallah, with their help, one day we will win. And Shaykh Effendi is teaching again for that time, saying, even if things start working, don't think it's from yourself. Remember, it's from your Shaykh. Look at how beautiful Shaykh Effendi's words are. He is saying that time, know that whatever you are doing, it is because of the prayers of your Shaykh. And then Shaykh Effendi says, I am just a tool. What is the use of a tool? To do work. What work do you do? If you are the tool of the awliya, you do hizmat. So the highest point in this entire journey of the heart, it is to be able to say, I am just the tool of my Shaykh. That person who becomes the tool of his Shaykh, inshallah Rahman, he will have a qalbin salim that will benefit him on the day of judgment and nothing else. Listen to Hazrat Maulana when he says, Bayazid Bistami Kadazasir said, all these years, people thought they were listening to me, but I have not said a single thing. The speaker speaks. I am only an echo. The wall says to the nail, "Why are you splitting me?" "It's not me," says the nail. "Look behind me." Don't beg the spear tip for mercy as the one who holds it. He makes me a cup. I hold liquid. He makes me into a dagger. I cut. A fountain. Come to me for water. He lights a fire. I give off heat. He makes me rain. I come up in corn stalks. He makes me an arrow. I pierce the body. A snake, if he makes me into a snake, my saliva becomes venom. He makes me a friend. I do hizmat. I'm a pen between those fingers, so I don't tremble, wondering what to do. The Shaykh is doing the work of the Prophet. And the Prophet ﷺ, he is entirely for the service and the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Be in that work. And as Hazrat Mawlana is saying, don't tremble. In their hizmat, you may become a light for so many, even if you cannot see that light yourself. As Hazrat Mawlana is saying in the Masnavi Sharif, struggle so that your inner light comes out, so that your suluk, your traveling, and your hizmat will be made easy for you. Don't you see that you take children to school by force because they are blind to the benefits of learning? But when a child becomes aware of the benefits, he runs to school. His soul opens with joy at going. A child goes to school reluctantly with no joy because he has seen no result of his work. But when he puts a single coin earned from his work into his wallet, he can go all night without sleep like a thief. Struggle that the wages for your obedience may come. Then you will envy the obedient ones. If you only come and obey against your will, that's just for a blind follower. Coming willingly is for the person who is made out of sincerity. The first person loves Allah for mixed up reasons. The other one who comes willingly has a pure, non-selfish love. May we learn obedience, inshallah. May we run after obedience. May we run to return to obedience, because obedience is our original way. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us sincere to our guide so that we may have pure hearts. May we come willingly and not with force. May we come with ashq and not unwillingly. May the door always be open for us, even if we fail, even if it is thousands of times. May our destiny end with them accepting us and being happy with us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us strength to fight our egos. May Allah give us strength to kick shaitan out from our hearts. May our heart become the throne of His beloved ones. May we make our heart to become the dargah of our Shaykh. Ameen. We are ending with the dua of Shaykh Maulana saying, Shukr to Allah for letting us reach this day. Our Mawla can make us reach even higher than this. He removes all sadness from our hearts. He gives relief. May those saying Allah enter the rose garden of paradise. May those saying Allah enter today. May those saying Allah today enter. Don't fear. Say Allah and don't fear. What shall we do? Slowly, slowly, slowly. It's not easy. It's not easy to be filled with the divine love. It's not easy to walk around the Kaaba with that love. It's not easy to say Allah with that love. May our hearts be filled with divine love. Allahu, Allahu, there is no Lord other than Him. Allahu, who, our Lord. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. What shall we do? They made us tell a few words on these holy days. May our hearts open and be glad. May they be filled with relief. May our day be good. May our deeds be good. May our way be honored. Amen. Amen. Amen. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. La ilaha illallah. لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والحمد لله شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك والحمد لله شيء قدير لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الملك لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني الظالمين لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك سبحان قدوس ربنا سبحان قدوس إن دين عند الله الإسلام قام الصلاة